Back here at the Christian Village. Christian Village is Lincoln's only faith-based retirement community and is the area's leader for senior living and healthcare services. The village provides quality, compassionate care in a loving Christian environment. They offer a wide array of living options for older adults, such as independent living, rehabilitation, skilled nursing, and memory care. The Christian Village, located at 1507 7th Street in Lincoln, a community of compassion. We also want to throw in a little information. West Lincoln Broadwell pancake and sausage going on, basket, raffle, and silent auction going on now at WLB Gym on Lincoln's west side until noon. Adults are $5 and kids 3 and under are free, so head out to WLB. And then Sunday, April the 1st, kicks off the all-new Lincoln Speedway Play Day beginning at noon. Free grandstand, seating, and all that race car action. So coming up Sunday, April the 21st. And we also would like to wish WLCN 96.3's very own Lincoln Country Morning Show personality Jim Ash and his beautiful wife a happy 28th wedding anniversary today. So 28 years gone by, Jim. He said, wow. Josh Komnick along with Doug Rutter, administrator out here at the Christian Village. And Doug, we'll get into a little bit of what's going on out here. You guys have always got something going on. We see some remodeling going on in the room kind of next door. So some all new things going on out here at the Christian Village to update and keep up with all the renovations going on.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been in almost 2 years now. We've been under renovations. It does take some time, but we're 15 weeks away from being completely finished, and the place does look really nice.
Sure.
Some fabulous updates. The rooms have been modernized. We've increased our therapy space and just really brightened up the whole place. It's been really great. I did want to give you an update.
Update score, yes. Update score.
90 minutes in, Chelsea Tottenham at White Hart Lane. It is still 0-0.
Wow.
We have had
any shots on goal? That's what I always like to see.
There have been 3 yellow cards.
3 yellow, okay.
And 5 saves total.
5
so
saves.
A couple of obvious chances, but it does seem like it was a pretty dire match.
The rest of the time, just a bunch of chanting.
pretty much.
Well, so you got
nothing like the beauty of a well-fought draw.
Yes, for 90 minutes of no score. But we will keep you updated. It may be at least 90 more before they get another, or at least a shot. But we may not be still on air. But we're talking about out here at the Christian Village. Always a host sponsor for the cheap seats, and Doug has always come in and shared his expertise on all sports, and we've talked about football, that kind of stuff going on. But we'll talk a little bit about the Christian Village now. You've talked about the progress of the extreme makeover. We get into the mission of the Christian Village, and talk a little bit about that, Doug.
Well, one of the things that is nice about what we do here is that we have a core value. The mission of our organization is what drives everything that we do here, and it really is connected to our history. And over 50 years ago, there was a group of individuals from Lincoln who wanted to be able to do things differently, to honor individuals as they age and to provide a different type of care for them than what was available.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at the time, people were generally put in what was called the old poor folks' homes, and the conditions there weren't great, and the care wasn't professional, and they said we should be able to do this better. And so their vision was to create a place where elders would be cared for in a Christian community with a high degree of clinical excellence. And over the course of the last 50 years, that has really never changed. And one of the things that for us, it's an honor to be able to participate in that legacy. There are a lot of ways that the industry of long-term care and the pressures of, the financial reimbursements and those types of things have changed over the last 50 years. A lot more people who get into this as a business and for-profit organizations. But really the consistent thing about what happens here at the Christian Village is that we place the needs of our residents as the first and foremost thing that we do here. And so we don't have to chase after revenues. We don't have stockholders or dividends that we have to meet. Our primary vision is providing the highest quality of care that we can, and living up to that, to the legacy that those gentlemen, the vision that they had, and honoring that in a 21st century context.
No question. And you talk about just keeping on improving and keeping up with the updates and all that kind of stuff. You got some new additions coming in to the Christian Village, a nurse practitioner, and also a new medical director. What also will that now bring even more benefits to the residents?
Right. The addition of our new medical director, it expands the services that we provide from a clinical perspective. Now, the Christian Village has always had a strong reputation for providing good quality of clinical care. And in a nursing home setting, typically your doctor would come to visit you once every 60 days. You would get a visit from your doctor. Otherwise, they would be working with the nursing staff from the phone or via fax to get things, to oversee your medical care. What we've done is to introduce a much more aggressive participation with our physicians. And so our medical director, who is the doctor, the physician that oversees care at the entire facility, he's in the building once a week. And so as opposed to once every 60 days, we have a physician, if someone needs to be seen, here every Tuesday. And then the nurse practitioner, which is essentially someone who can give orders, prescribe medications on behalf of that doctor, is in the facility every Thursday. And so whereas in a typical nursing home setting, you'd have a physician in the building once or every 2 months, we have physicians or physician representatives in the facility twice a week. And so it really helps us to be able to take more aggressive action when there are changes of condition. For our nurses, as strong as they are clinically, they're not trained physicians.
Right.
And there are certain things that they can't do, or conditions that they don't have expertise in, and this allows us to have a higher degree of professional clinical care in the facility every week.
Is there someone available to answer the general questions about the senior resources, not only here at the Christian Village, but also that can be had in Logan County?
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that, we have relationships with volunteers and participating churches throughout Logan County and all across central Illinois. We have somewhere in the neighborhood of a little over 260 volunteers here every month. They come from as far away as Havana and Champaign and south of Decatur. And so we really see our mission as not just providing care to the 102 residents that are on our campus, but also to individuals who have just general questions about senior issues. And so our admissions folks, Marcia Cook, Julie King, they can provide some of that expertise. If you have questions about how do I manage, my finances to get prepared for a potential nursing home stay? What's the best option for us? Home health, assisted living, supportive living, independent living, skilled, those types of things. Right. Our dementia care coordinator, Pam Hill, she does support groups for spouses who are dealing with spouses or children who are dealing with loved ones who have Alzheimer's and dementia care and memory issues. And so we really want to provide a service not just to the people who pay us, but to the people who are dealing with these issues all across Logan County and throughout central Illinois.
Doug Rutter, administrator out here at the Christian Village. Josh Komnick, you're in the cheap seats. We've gone over, what you guys have, have to offer here, and you're always a great host to the cheap seats here, and more importantly, we get to talking sports.
Absolutely.
And we need a quick update. Has there been any more action on that soccer game?
That is a final. That is a final.
Zeros.
0-0.
So what do they do now?
That's a draw.
That's it?
They each take a point away, and that's it.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, you've got to draw. I know you're on your seats waiting for that updated score, but we're going to take a quick 3-minute timeout here, and we'll be back to talk about a little bit of football and also the upcoming Cardinals and Cubs. They've named their starting opener, and I'm not sure that's going to matter for the Cubs, but it might for the Cardinals. We'll be back out here at the Christian Village, 96.3 FM and WLCN online. Here are the cheap seats, 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. Josh Komnick along with Doug Rutter, administrator out here at the Christian Village. That's where we're at. We also, West Lincoln Broadwell pancake and sausage going on. Basket raffle and silent auction is now at WLB Gym on Lincoln's west side until 12 o'clock. Adults are only $5 and the kids 3 and under are free. Also, Sunday, April 1st, kicks off the all-new Lincoln Speedway Play Day beginning at 12 o'clock. Free grandstand seating and all that race car action Sunday, April the 1st. And Doug, as we get into a little baseball, Major League, sounds like Ryan Dempster is going to be named the opening day starter for my beloved Chicago Cubs. Carpenter, not the opening day starter for the Cardinals. It's going to be Kyle Loesch. Carpenter has nerve irritation in the shoulder and could possibly be out 2 months. Not sure that the Dempster thing is really a great thing or a big thing for the Cubs. They've really dismantled this roster. I was telling a guy last night, I don't know that I may only know 3 guys on the starting lineup on opening day. I mean, you've got Bird in center field, you've got Castro at shortstop, and I know Marlon Bird, and I'm going to say Soto will be the catcher. Third baseman, who knows? First base, don't know him. Well, Soriano, I guess we still have to have him, but I forgot about him. I was hoping maybe somebody took him. But a depleted lineup. It sounds like the new GM is cleaning house and going to start up from new, building the minor leagues, going to start making a team out of the minor league system, which I'm okay with. It's just hard to watch baseball when you are not very good.
Well, I mean, the thing about the Cubs is it's not a product-based team.
No.
I mean, they're gonna fill Wrigley regardless of whether they put the Bad News Bears out there or a world championship.
Not with me anymore. They're not. At least until we start winning. But yeah, as you say, they're doing it, and I think they've, I didn't want Ramirez to go, although I really didn't want him to go to the Brewers, although now we have to play him all the time. But, I think the Cubs are several years away from being any type of contention, so I can pretty much cancel my Comcast for the summer because I don't need that channel for the year. So, but anyway, into Cardinals, as our producer over here, Jim, has a green, I thought it was St. Patrick's Day again shirt, but it says luck, doubt it, with the St. Louis Cardinals on the bottom. But although he's not so lucky and feeling so great about it today, Carpenter, their main man, has gone under not needing surgery, but irritation in the shoulder, not good, coming just into spring training when he hasn't been throwing a whole lot already.
Yeah, absolutely. You hate to see that happen this close to the beginning of the season. Not a lot that you can do about that.
Yeah, well, I'm not so irritated about it. I'm a Cub fan, but you say you hate to see it, but you must be a Cardinal fan. But that's really it for right now. Baseball, spring training, you never know who plays. I don't follow it that much. They say in the paper a Cubs won, but who knows? It could have been a split squad. You could have been playing 12 straight innings. I don't follow spring training as much as I do especially when opening day or the season gets going. Moving into football real quick before we've got to go here. Peyton Manning, of course, everybody knows he signed this big-time deal with the Denver Broncos. You're a football guy. You watch football a lot. Did you see this coming, or where did you see Manning really going in your eyes?
Well, I was surprised. I really thought he would end up in either Arizona or in San Francisco. I mean, from a climate perspective, I know that at Arizona they had a history with Warner of building a team around an experienced quarterback. Sure. I think he didn't go to San Francisco because I don't think he gets along with the head coach there. I mean, I think those are two big egos. Whereas at Denver, they said, we will build a team around
That's
you. Right. But here's the deal. You can have as many doctors as you want. You can do whatever tests. They can put you through all the tests. But here's the one test he hasn't had is Ndamukong Suh hasn't come along from the blind side and
have a bounty out on him.
Absolutely. Planted him 4 inches in the turf. We'll see if he gets up. I mean, they've spent a lot of money and franchised their future on the fact that this guy will be able to survive
Stay
4
healthy.
or 5, NFL seasons.
Right.
I mean, this surgery that he had, there are people come out of this surgery who aren't allowed to go on roller coasters. And, taking a big-time NFL hit, that's a lot bigger than being jostled around on Space Mountain.
Right.
So, I mean,
Right.
I have questions about that.
Yeah, at least down there you got a seatbelt, but I thought he was going to Miami. I thought him and Reggie Wayne would get together. They both have homes in that area. I thought Reggie would say, hey, you come here, I'm coming with you. We'll go to Miami, and we'll kind of relive our Indianapolis Colt days. But it didn't work out. I like watching the Broncos, and I like watching Manning, so I'll probably tune in to watch Manning. Being that, like you said, he stays healthy, goes through his progressions with his rehab and things like that. Does this make the Broncos a lot better? No question. I mean, you're relying on Tebow.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yes, you'd have to say it's an upgrade at the position.
Right.
You have to say that. But I mean, again, it is. I mean, it's a gamble, no doubt about it. And Elway will either be a hero or, I mean, he's always going to be a hero in Denver.
His status isn't going to change a whole lot, although it might get even bigger if it can.
Right, but then again, you know, Michael Jordan's still a hero, but he's not a hero in an NBA executive. So who knows whether this will turn out well or not.
Tebow to the Jets. We talked about the bounties. You saw they gave out the suspensions for the coaches for the Saints. Sean Payton gets 1 year, loses $5.8 million in that year. Of course, he doesn't get paid. And then the coordinator, who unfortunately signed with the St. Louis Rams, you're not going to get a coordinator now. So now you got to go find another one to coordinate your defense. And this has been a whole. I mean, I don't know that I thought it went on, but I wouldn't have been shocked that it was going on. But this is when they started showing the highlights, or back then when they had this bounty thing, this pool of money going on, boy, you could see, man, they really went after him.
Well, I think I saw a YouTube video of the game where they went after Favre, that Vikings game, and you could tell they got nasty with that. And and you hear people say this goes on in 32 locker rooms, across the league, but Goodell seems really intent on stamping this out. And I think the thing that really hurt the Saints is they were looking into this in 2010. I mean, they were investigating this in 2010, went to the Saints and said, is this going on? And they said, absolutely not, of course not, we would never do this, blah, blah, blah. And then they got more evidence this season, and that's really why they decided to bring the hammer down on them. But, this puts a lot of pressure on Drew Brees. Yeah. I mean, he's really going to have to be the guy that steps up, because they've lost their D coordinator. Now they've lost their head coach, who was really their offensive, guru.
Did everything. Called the plays. Besides what Brees didn't want to do, this guy had his mind behind everything.
Right. So, we could be seeing the return of the Aints again, which that doesn't hurt my feelings at all.
I mean, other than Brees maybe wanting him to be on my fantasy team.
But I do wonder if this doesn't have ripple effects across the league.
Sure.
If this is a practice that goes on elsewhere.
Yeah, Goodell. I saw an interview or heard an interview on him, said that there's things that we can't control, such as like interception benefits.
Oh yeah.
Good play benefits, where you catch 10 balls and you get 10 grand or something,
right?
Or you get the most interceptions of the year, you get an extra $5,000 or whatever it may be, whatever the pay is. But this, when you're intentionally going out to try and hurt somebody, the NFL doesn't stand for this.
Well, and there are two things I think in there. One is that it was a player like it was an off the books kind of a deal. This wasn't a part of their contracts. It wasn't. The players were the ones who actually put the money in for the bounties themselves. The program was just sort of administrated by the coaching staff. And so they said it's compensation that violates the league policy on compensation, and then secondarily it violates the spirit of the play and respect for the other players. And you could see that in that post-game interview. They showed Brett Favre after that game, and he looked rough. Just there's a lot of heat, a lot of hits out there, man.
So it was a situation that you don't ever want it to happen, and I especially didn't want it to happen to Sean Payton. I think he's a great guy. He's an Eastern Illinois guy from Naperville area. Especially from this area being that. But you just can't do that kind of stuff.
No, absolutely not. And especially in eventually they're going to be, it's it's going to be two-hand touch on the quarterbacks.
Right. Oh yeah.
Kickoffs
It's
from so they're really trying to make it an entertaining league that's a safe, league, and they're dealing with the concussion stuff still still out there, and so they're not going to put up with this kind of stuff.
The NFL is as babied now as it for sure ever has, as far as being hit low and hurting the quarterback, and you can't lead with your head and all that kind of stuff.
You kind of have to. I mean, as we have more and more evidence of the impact that these injuries have, and these guys a lot. I mean, we tend to think about the Elways and the Marinos who had 15, 18-year careers, but the average NFL career is 4 years. These guys who really just tear up their bodies for 2 or 3 years, and they get paid a couple of $100,000, $500,000 for those 4 years, but then they've got to limp for the rest of their life, or headaches for the rest of their lives, or early onset Alzheimer's, all the kind of things. Like, these guys are really putting their bodies on the line for what is, at the end of the day, a game. So I think I really respect what Goodell's trying to do. I know he takes a lot of no fun league and that type of thing, but I want to see football stay safe and be able to continue to enjoy it. So I support what he's doing.
Well, and then I always go back to, what's any different than them guys just throwing blows in hockey? I mean, the other night they tapped the puck, literally tapped it. My 1-year-old could have tapped that puck harder than they did. They tapped the puck, and as soon as that puck hit, threw off the gloves, threw down the stick, and just went melee.
There were three.
Didn't even play. I mean, there wasn't nothing leading up to this play. I mean, they literally got to play in, so the clock would start, and then just melee.
Yeah, absolutely. And you could see, I saw that highlight where the two guys, we're gonna go.
Yeah,
we're gonna go.
They already saw it in their eyes.
Yeah,
just wait, buddy. Wait till I tap that thing. You've got one coming at you. So the NFL trying to clean it up, and they just let them do that in hockey. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I don't watch that much hockey, and I'm a football fan. So hopefully we keep the football going. There's things that are, they do that a lot of people don't like, but it's the most successful league in pro sports, bar none. I mean, that guy's done a great job. That Goodell is a smart man, and he's done what pays the bills and brings people in the stands. Because, I mean, you go or just watch on TV, the worst team in the NFL is still sold out every game. So the guy has definitely done his job as far as being a GM. Will this hurt the New Orleans Saints? No question about it. Do you want Drew Brees as your fantasy quarterback? I don't think that changed Brees. He may even throw more now to help your team. So, hey, Doug, thanks for joining us today. We got to get out of here. It's just past the hour. So, fun talking sports. Having us here at the Christian Village as always, and we all want to thank you for coming in and giving us those updates on that scoreboard too.
Riveting.
Riveting. And the sad thing is that he even said this. I'll go home and watch that, even though I know it's a 0-0 tie.
Absolutely.
Hey, that's going to do it out here for the Christian Village. Josh Komnick, you're in the Cheap Sheets. Doug Rutter, an administrator out here at the Christian Village. We'll see you next Saturday. Have a good week.